Hello everyone, we're back again with another episode of Torrents of the Spellhoarder from Elder Brain. We're playing with April, Joe, John and Tommy. And my name is Gabor, your DM. And I would like to ask all of you to please introduce your characters shortly. And let's jump into Jungle Boogie.
All right, I am here. Hi, I'm April. I'm playing Mayra Deepscar of the Azure Abyss. She is a Triton, Oath of the Open Sea Paladin.
Hi, my name is Joe. I'm playing Rax, the Wormslayer Ranger.
Hi, my name is John. I'm playing Ko, the Echo Knight Turtle, who may be developing phobia, which is fear of apes.
Yes. Oh, you looked that up. Okay.
Came ready with that.
Oh, hi guys, Tommy here, playing Feromalars, the young bronze dragon.
And you guys are standing on sort of the shores of Kyoku Islands, one of the smaller islets, is there a word like that? Of Kyoku Island, where you are facing a group of gorillas. How you got here? You got here by boat from the north, as you have been washed on the shores, or actually no, you didn't wash. You arrived to the shores of Kyoku after the shipwreck, and Mayra created this a little rowboat from a magical patch, and you rowed south and soon spotted a few giant apes. They are huge creatures, sizes of almost like elephants, and they've been rowing a canoe down between these two islands. Here I'm showing you on the map, and you followed them. They seem to hide in the jungle, keeping an eye out on the Minotaur village across, which is several thousand feet. So it's quite a small. You can't see much of the village across, but these gorillas keep an eye out and face the little sea gap and the land across, and you confronted them. We will get back to that in a moment, but first I would like to remind you that as you arrive to Kyoku Island, your main goal now is to find a vessel to leave the island. So basically it's situated too far from the mainland according to your knowledge based on the maps that you've seen with at Captain Short Pebble's room, and you remember that swimming would probably be not an option. You see this big canoe. It's not. Mayra is knowledgeable in seafaring vessels, and she knows that this you won't get long with this. It's probably a day's travel you can take with it, but the rougher seas, as soon as it meets a storm, it's going to be capsized and you're done. When you arrived, shortly after you arrived, Feromalars took flight and took a bird eye view of the island, which is a jungle island, and he saw as much as he could see through the canopy of the woods and the jungle itself, and saw a couple of landmarks that are of note. One of them was, of course, the Minotaur village, which you actually zoomed in on and just went closer and saw it. We can get back to it if you have more questions. You saw a camp. You saw some ruins here, smaller ruins, and do you see my marker?
Mm-hmm.
Smaller bunch of ruins here. Actually, I'm showing you the other ruins, which is quite big. It's kind of like probably a city. Was a city, grown over by the jungle already, but some of the more central parts of the ruins are still visible from above. This is, as you see, it's about 5,000-6,000 feet across. It's a big, stretching remains of a larger city or some structures. And then you saw on a clearing, a natural sort of clearing, a camp with a couple of larger tents. These were the main landmarks. So now you travel down and you're facing these guerrillas, and what happened was that you went, I would say, quite boldly closer to them. Actually, I'm not in the position to evaluate your actions, but it is these are huge gorillas, and just to
How many of them?
6 of them, and I wanted to show you an image which probably tells a lot about their sizes and the whole feeling. Do you see the image? Does it load?
Except their backs are emerald color.
Please don't move it. Don't move it, please. I need to put it up so I can show it. So their backs are emerald colored. They are, as you can see on the image, they are huge, and they are wielding these coconuts. Now, of course, they are probably, obviously, not normal gorillas, because they've been riding canoes, rowing them, probably even build the canoes. They talk amongst each other in some strange language, which you don't speak, but you might recognize if you roll intelligence DC 15 checks.
DC 15. Pretty high.
17.
14.
Well, it's high on a purpose, because this is something very rarely spoken and heard, and Mara, you have heard it a couple of times when druids spoke it. Okay? So they speak druidic language. You don't understand. It's like, recognizing, oh, they speak German, but you don't understand what they're speaking. So they speak druidic.
I actually wish Jade was here. That
Now that's the first time ever. Probably the last. Now they speak it in this guttural voice I have prepared for you to hear. You hear? This is gorilla sounds. Can you hear them?
Yeah.
All right. So these gorillas are breathing heavily, and they're speaking to each other like, and they are most probably up for war or exploration at least, and they are scarred, and they are determined, and you face them.
Aggressive stance, yeah. So they're not curious, or
well, they look prepared like a natural animal in the wild, but banded together and on a mission. So you don't know why, where, who, what. But when you confront them, I remember you all last time rolling beautiful, very high charisma checks, and
yes,
and also backed up with the fantastic delicacies that Mara provided them through her magic. They come closer and they start to communicate, at least. Okay? So I give you word here. I leave the image on. They are standing like this in front of you. They are, as you can see, they are huge. So you come up to their knees, not much higher. Where is Joe? I need to put Joe back.
Did we eventually camp here, and then this is like in the dawn the next day, or what was the daytime, nighttime?
You could have it's thousands of feet per tile, so you could easily hide, rest. If you keep an eye, you're taking turns in watch, I guess. Still, all the time, I presume. Please let me
Yeah,
know
of
if you
course.
don't. But how you camp is you bring up the magical tent, and then Feromalar stays outside and watches as a good doggy, watches the house, and and you take turns, and and of course, if you are camping nearby, then you probably walk up to and keep an eye on the gorillas, at least from a distance. You can easily spot them. They are huge. They're 6, so you can see their silhouettes moving, and they stay. So as long as they stay for hours, they stay for days. They are keeping an eye out, obviously, on the Minotaur village and their movements and such. So what you
But
woke up.
they also rest, right?
They also rest, yes, and they rest, they eat, and and you wake up, and let's say this is morning time, humid, hot, subtropical environment, and weather, and what do you guys do?
So I have a quick question about the gorillas. Do they have a swimming speed?
Sweet, no.
Okay. And hey, there's a method to my madness.
Backup plan.
I can communicate with beasts as long as they have a swimming speed. So
No, they don't have a swimming speed. They have a climb speed.
Good morning, everyone. I'd
Morning.
like to propose an idea.
Mm.
I can use some of my wily charms, talk to these animals, and see if we can get a bit of a dialogue going. But we should first determine what a plan is. What we're doing, huh? Do we want them to build us a boat? Do we want to take a boat, show us to a boat? Or do we want to join them in raiding whatever it is they're about to raid? What's the plan?
I don't have the impression that they're raiding. I think they're just foraging.
Right, but what do we want?
Well, at first I thought that we might ask them for one of their boats, but however, the boats aren't actually on closer inspection, aren't actually seaworthy enough to take us where we need to go.
Right.
But
Maybe we look for a bigger one.
perhaps they can help give us more of an understanding on the island of somewhere that we could potentially.
Now,
Can y'all hear that?
Yeah, we hear the gorillas out in the distance.
Yes.
Now, I have a particular amount of experience speaking with animals of all kinds. I'm happy to do the negotiating if everyone is all right with it. Or highly suggestible, can we have someone else do it?
I do not have the skills to talk to beasts, unless Mayra does.
Maybe you can whisper the words in my ear if I get a little off track.
I think we should stand together.
Right.
But we should be careful with the allies we choose.
I don't
Yes.
disagree.
And maybe that's what I would add is that getting some information, maybe establishing like our intentions with them might be good, that we are trying to get out of here and we don't want to cause trouble. But if we can help, we can, or if we can run away, we can.
Let's see what we can discern, right?
They speak a druidic tongue.
I don't know. Oh, right. So they're not animals.
Well, they appear to be animals, but they are sentient, obviously, in some level of intelligence, and speaking a druidic tongue. Now, Gabor, if I'm like going off of something that Mayra would know that this is not the case, but my assumption is, so druidic, that is a speech of spiritual, sacred. It's not a natural. It would have to have been either learned from their encounters with others who are druids, or divinely given through nature. So Rax, you're the one who can communicate, but I would assume that though it may be a different aspect. Their god, their goddess, is mine. So perhaps the recognition will be there of the, and hold out my holy symbol for the power of nature that we all respect and revere. I am so sorry. I have got to go help this dog. But that's what I think. I'm going to listen now to and sit back quietly.
Sure.
Right. I think I've got a good handle on what to say. Just
You're good with
whisper in
people.
my ear if I do it wrong. And I'll do my best.
Your best has always been great for us.
Not true. But I appreciate the confidence. I was about to ask. It's so funny because Tommy is right there in my screen next to April's chair, and I'm like, "Is she back yet?" Like you can just look over and see if she's coming back.
I'll let
She's
you know.
probably putting him in his pen. It is freezing in Houston right now.
Right.
By the way, it's in the 20s, which is so weird for us.
Which is in Celsius? What is it in Celsius? Yeah.
I have no idea.
Minuses, I think.
It's in the minuses. Yeah, it's below freezing right now.
All right. Same here.
Which is why I got this great hat on. Plus, Rex wears this.
Well, we share
Alright.
this across the globe.
Yeah.
Same weather in Europe. where
Should we
were
go
at
ahead and
with
go?
Timmy. Yeah, sure. So,
All right.
so you pack up the tent, I guess, and then you approach the gorillas again. They
I'm going
are-
to cast Speak with Animals.
You cast speak. What's the duration?
10 minutes, I believe.
Yes. So,
Yes, 10 minutes.
And then, as you can see on the image, you step forward in front of them, and then you tell me what you say. They turn to you, and they hold their giant coconuts. You don't know where they get these giant coconuts from, but they are humongous. And then they also band up and just stand in front of you with their very serious expression on their faces, and one of them says something, and then you say,
I think Rex, upon walking up, just turns back around and probably sees Ko there and then whips back around to face the gorillas like, no, we've already decided to take this approach. and goes, Oi, gorilla types. We've come upon your island and recognize, that you communicate with nature and whatnot, and we're very happy to be here. And we hope you've enjoyed this fine meal. But we've become stranded on your beautiful island, and we'd very much like to find a way off, but we need a bigger boat. Or indicate the canoe that we rolled up on.
Mhm.
Big boat. Any
So-
idea we can find one?
so one of them goes on all fours, the rest just watches, and then walks, on these huge arms of it, walks a bit closer to you, and starts. Where's my sound effect? Starts doing this sound, and then sniffs you, and then this is before speaking, and then says, "Not metal," scratching your armor, which is of course not made of metal. It's made of dragon hide, actually. And then just basically goes over you, like you can see its underbelly, and goes to Ko and scratches and with its huge finger just pushes the sword, which is crystal, and says, "Not metal." Of course, you others don't understand. It says, "Mrongajong," and then, of course, it's only Rax understanding what it says.
They don't like metal.
This is not metal. Well, they are. It seems like it is disappointed that this is not metal. So then turns to. Well, of course, they keep an eye on the dragon, but they're not so afraid of it. It's just that they could easily hold it in two hands.
He's pumping himself up from Earth, as looking as large as possible with the wings, yeah.
That's probably not the best approach. That's hostile approach.
Looking him right in the eye.
Yeah, looking right in there, puffing and making myself, showing myself the biggest
Smile
I
real
can.
big.
That scene in How to Train Your Dragon where Toothless is courting, where he's just got the wings.
Yeah. So then they turn to Mare, like another one also comes. Maybe this one, says one of them, and then scratches your sort of shelly, bony armor, and not metal. Looks at the other. Are you sure? No, this ain't metal. We want metal, says the one of them.
And what is it you want metal for?
We're raiding
We do
for
have it.
metal. They have metal, says one of them. And then
Yeah, this is metal. Pull out
Christ.
my battle axe. Hold on. What about that?
what do you pull up?
Battle
Battle
axe.
axe.
Battle axe.
Hold it up for him.
It holds it in its 2 fingers and says, "Tiny metal." Says to the others in the back, and they say, "That's metal too. It's good. Tiny, don't matter." They say they don't seem to be too intelligent, but they obviously communicate with you in a language, which I would like to pause at a second, because when you cast Speak Animals, you communicate sort of basic intentions and feelings
Right.
and such. They communicate in full sentences with you. Okay, so they seem highly intelligent or more intelligent than the regular type, and they also are able to communicate in full sentences. So one of them in the back says, "Tiny metal is still metal. We take." And then one of them just takes your battle axe and throws it to the back. Good.
Oh,
good.
just kidding.
More food, more metal, maybe. We can. Yeah, more food or more metal for us. Emerald Back Tribe
Hold on,
loves
hold on.
food and metal.
Let's back up, Emerald folks. You've just taken. Well, it's not a give. You just took something that belongs to me, and now perhaps we would like a boat, or at least to be aimed in the direction
Roll your
of
charisma
a
persuasion.
giant boat.
Roll a charisma persuasion, please.
Best trade ever. 1 battle axe for a ship.
Yep.
Roll
We'd
30.
like something that's not metal.
Hey, there was something like, how much food did we create? It was,
Check it, please.
Here we go. 16.
And then plus what?
That's it.
That's your charisma
Oh yeah.
persuasion? Oh, you're not a
I'm
charisma guy.
very charismatic.
I thought you were.
I'm
Shut up.
proficient in deception.
All right. And you have a 0 modifier?
I have a +0 modifier.
All right, no worries. 16 fits the case. They're like, no, we only have 1 boat. We're raiding with our canoe.
Well, that canoe's not
Need
going
the
to cross the
canoe.
ocean, is it?
No, it's enough it can bring us from our island to this island.
No, how canoes work.
It's a
who
day's
are you-
trip.
Yeah, right. Who are you raiding?
The Minotaurs of Rockhorn village. For
Do
more
they have
metal.
boats?
They have bigger battle axes than yours.
Well, great. Do they have boats though, bigger than yours?
No, smaller than ours.
Don't be kidding me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
Emerald
This
Back,
is-
not kidding.
This is what we call fruitless, then. What am I going to get
Fruitless?
for my What am I going to get for my battle axe? So you'll no help then.
Oh, help? No, we raid.
You know,
We're not here to help. You need
look
help?
back at the group. Communication has broken down. Help me.
In an
Help me,
unfriendly
everyone.
way?
What happened?
In an unfriendly way?
No, they just took my axe. They don't have a boat. The Minotaurs don't have a boat. That's who they're going to go fight. And we're we're up the river without a boat.
You can have your axe. We don't need your tiny axe. And then they drop it back to you. We need more metal.
Could we join them and at least further up and further in?
Look over at the gorillas. Do they have slaves?
Who?
These minotaurs, do they have slaves?
What is a slave?
Good question. I thought this was. So did we get that this was like a slaving nation? These minotaurs, or I'm thinking of the main island that we're going to. Okay, never mind. I was going to say we can go free the slaves. Turn back around to the group. I'm open to ideas. I don't know what to do.
Why interfere?
Right. It doesn't seem that there's anything. If they don't have what we need or can help us, then we leave them on their way. We've provided food. We had a friendly interaction. It was very nice to meet them. And I say we continue on. Perhaps we can go check out those ruins of a city.
And if we keep skirting the edges of this place, we're going to run into a boat at some point, right? There's docks, things like that.
Hopefully.
Well, they don't
exist on this island and they don't travel or trade. Then I wouldn't imagine. Did they say anything about anything? Did you ask them about what else on this area of islands, and if there is something where we...
I'm about to run out of my magic talking juice. Turn back around. Is there perhaps any big boats that you've seen on this island that maybe we could go find somewhere? You could point us in a direction.
They sort of turn their backs and don't really bother. You know, you're like little animals for them that run around. Maybe, you know, you speak, but it's not much. You're not much of an interest to them, especially because you don't have metal, but and you don't provide more food. But one of them turns and says, "No," and then turns back and watches the island.
Well, then best of luck with the raiding, fellas. Good luck to you.
Okay, they turn their sides and back to you, and they're really focused, and they even speak. You can, with the last seconds of your spell, you can hear them saying something like, "We wait for dawn. No, we go at dusk." And then your spell fades, and they go, and you don't understand what they say.
The last thing they said was "Wobchub Nilabodby." I don't know what it means, but seems to be a code of some... Oh, never mind. My spell's worn off. That's what it is. Right. I'm ready.
Okay. Let's get away with this image. Imaging.
So then...
Yep.
So then is our plan to row around the Minotaur area and go further down the island? And avoid the Minotaurs maybe altogether?
I think that'd be wise.
Yeah,
I would like you to show me with the marker where you're planning to row next. You have a day's travel. I kind of forgot how much you can roll. Let me calculate in a second.
I'd say the closer ruins is...
So this boat was 40 feet.
And if we're stranded, we should think about taking to higher ground and lighting some kind of smoke signal for ships.
It's not a bad idea. Maybe get rescued, eh?
Yeah.
Or slaved.
Well, Lars, if that's the plan, maybe we should start setting up regular scouting trips around the seas, looking for signs of ships.
Well, we were thinking of maybe checking out the place past the Minotaur Island first. So that's still the plan, or are we still thinking it may be too far to row today?
Well, we can continue there, but there should be no reason that Lars can't do a scouting trip and look and see if there's a ship offshore. And like I said, no telling how long we're going to be here, so we can set up some regular scouting patrols, Lars, if you're willing to periodically scan the seas to see if ships are passing by. Just maybe in the early mornings and the in the later in the afternoon and evening before we settle down. Just two patrols a day to scan the seas. And in the meantime, we continue on. My thought is we continue on to the ruins, the smaller one and the larger one, just to explore them and see them along the way. The smaller one, I don't expect any kind of ship, but perhaps the larger one. Lars said he didn't see anything. It's not like he's going to miss a ship, but perhaps there's something. Perhaps there's some kind of magic that can be discovered that allows us to transport ourselves. I'm running, and if nothing else, we'll set up camp somewhere and we'll build our own ship. It'll only take a year and a half.
Okay, so in a day's rowing, you would probably be able to, without forced march, you can cover about 20 tiles in 8 hours. Okay, so if you push it, it's 10, 12, but then you probably get an exhaustion level or something. So please show me which way you're planning to go.
You said the closer ruins, so that's how many tiles is that?
We're talking this place here, right?
Yeah. And we
So
dock probably somewhere here, I guess.
Can we
Yeah.
get there?
That makes sense to me. Yeah, and we're avoiding the. How do you do the?
Well, that's a day's
There's
travel.
the.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's like 15 tiles.
We're avoiding the center one because that's where we heard the nightmare sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Let me. Just nice you reminded me. Let me make a D20 roll here. Maybe with these dice. It's beautiful. Let's roll it. All right. So yeah. All right. So it's an uneventful 8 hours of rowing. You pass between these two islands, smaller ones, blah blah blah, and then you arrive on this shore. It's about, let's say, mid-afternoonish, like 4 or 5 o'clock. Let's say 5 o'clock. The sun is still up for a couple of hours, and then you're about, based on Ferromerar's measurement of distance and all that, that probably 8,000-9,000 feet into the jungle, which is, how much is that in miles? Who knows?
How many feet?
9,000 feet to
Couple
miles.
3 kilometers. So
That's
2
1.7
miles.
miles. 1.5, 1.7. So it's not that far.
Co, once we docked and we kind of secured the place, I think he'd want to walk out into the water just a bit and relax, kind of stretch it out, using the water to kind of help balance the soreness.
Mm-hmm.
Still close, still in contact, but relaxing a bit.
I think once we dock, Mayra is gonna just kind of scout the immediate area and along the shoreline and the edges there, just to kind of make sure that everything is safe. Since it's late afternoon, I assume we're going to make camp here and wait until morning to continue our exploration.
It's probably, if just in terms of measuring time. So if it's 5 o'clock, you set camp. You easily set camp. You don't take your time too long with the tent and all that. You scout around 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe. You find it all. You all find it safe. Especially you trust Drax's opinion, Thromelar's opinion, who are more into the wilderness and more casual in this sort of environment. You feel safe with the tent being in the jungle, and of course you hear the jungle around you, but still, it's nothing special, I would say. So once you're over with that, let's say half an hour, max an hour, if you even if you eat, drink, whatever, the ruins would be about half an hour on foot, maybe longer, because crossing the jungle, let's say an hour, so double, because of the hard terrain or difficult terrain. And an hour back. So your decision.
So we would get back before nightfall, is what you're saying?
I would say nightfall is like past 8, 9-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah, you could get back. You don't have much time to stay there. You're this. I'm just telling you that it's an hour away. An hour's trekking in the wilderness.
So we're setting up camp.
How's our supplies? I know we're adding to with
Yes, good question.
Mayra and Lars scouting and gathering for us a bunch.
So what there are 3 options and 3 resources you can use. One is April's rations and anybody else's rations. I don't know how much food you have on you guys. So the ration count is low, high. I'm not sure.
None on Lars. So probably.
Yeah. I have 7 days of rations, but that's for one person, so it's probably enough for 2 days. Well, not including Lars, because I imagine he eats a little bit more.
Yeah,
but I can also create food
that's
and
the
water.
second option, using your magical resources and creating food and water, which I am certain, I don't remember now how long it stays fresh and how much you create.
24 hours.
Please look it up. 4 hours?
24.
24 hours.
Yeah, and it's,
so
it's
that's
more. It's 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water, and it lasts 24 hours. So we can keep doing. But that's also her. She will forage first. She will go and try to get fish and.
Yeah, that's the things. Well, which comes first, Joe? That's the question. Eat or smite? That's now the
Smite. Always
always
smite.
smite. We know
And
that.
then you can eat what you smite.
That way it's already cooked, correct?
That's perfect.
That's right. It's
Only
divinely
vegan branding
roasted.
smites.
Oh my god! Even my head got red with laughter. Yeah. So foraging first, smite second, and then eating third. Yeah. So I think again, it's probably. I mean, I guess Rex has a high survival.
Let's
No?
find out.
I don't
And
have your character
Lars
sheet.
also has
But
a high
Lars-
not today.
Not today. What do you mean not today?
Let me go. Why don't I see if I can
I rolled a 9, so no
Well,
fish.
you go out and try, but you don't succeed.
And 18.
And then you bring back, food for. I would say, for yourself, it's a 10. Tommy had the actual
It's
number.
D6 plus wisdom is
This is a wisdom what?
pounds of food.
Pounds of food. All right. What's your wisdom?
For me, it's a +0, but I rolled an 18 on my survival check.
Roll a d6, please.
Okay. 5.
So that's 5 pounds of food. I would say that suits like 2 of you. 3.
Why don't we try to get an animal? Something a
kilos.
little more substance.
All right. So you go. Rex and Feromilars goes foraging into the forest, hunting, gathering whatever you find, fishing even, and when they come back, Ko and Mara just sees that they don't bring enough, right? So this is not gonna be enough. This might be enough for Feromilars alone. For a day, but they will turn to you, Mara, and please, or whatever else. Or
So Mayra would have gone fishing again too.
please roll for survival.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, are we all rolling survival?
You
I
can,
mean, I
of
like that.
course. Yeah, of course. If you want.
That's a 15.
15. Yeah, that's good.
9.
Roll d6 plus wisdom. 9 is
And
not enough.
it's the wisdom modifier.
Mhm.
4.
That's 4 pounds. So now you have, you kind of gather enough food for yourself for the day.
Yeah,
Sort of. It's not like your bellies are full, especially Philomeros. Romulars feels a bit empty, but he can take it. He's a reptile. He can take it.
He only eats once a week anyway.
Yeah. A couple of hours into the afternoon, or early night, night falls. You tell me whatever you want to do. Within the tent, it's a beautiful, mild, temperature. The fire is burning. You can cook whatever you fished and hunted and gathered, and you eat and talk. And if nothing else, you take turns. Nothing happens during the night, and the morning comes. Your fifth day on the island, actually.
So while
Maybe
we're
fourth. I'm sorry, fourth day.
yeah, so while we're sitting around the campfire that night inside the tent and talking, Lars, how far can you fly without needing to? So what I'm wondering is if we can't find a boat, I have no problem swimming through the ocean. Co and Rax, I imagine we can work something. Perhaps
well.
we can do island hopping, where we travel from island to island in the water beneath. Lars, you fly. We get to another destination where we can land. Do we? Who's got the eidetic? Doesn't somebody have like eidetic memory and they've actually seen? Yeah. So Lars,
Yeah. So
you know
let
the
me help.
Would
Let
that
me,
be possible?
let me
that
help.
we could-
The next island he remembers is actually he doesn't quite remember the name of the islands. It's a collection of small isles. It's by Centros, like immediately, next to it. So it's far. It's days on a ship.
Is there a fire in the camp?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. When Mara, right as Mara finishes saying like we could do some island hopping, I think Rax would turn around dramatically in the firelight and say, "I've been thinking," and take a stick and draw a stick figure dragon. If we take Lars and then we tie a rope around his foot and then draw like a line and then another circle, and we tie a rope around Ko's foot, we could skip Ko across the water on his back, on the water and across his back. You could swim and I could ride. Then we could go anywhere we want. We just have to make sure that Ko gets plenty of food and that we stop to all eat. We could skip him. And then we don't need a boat. Throw down the stick like I just thought of the greatest plan ever. And then sit down satisfied with the idea.
Proud. Yeah.
Unless a storm comes.
Oh, good point. Scratch out the whole drawing. Toss the stick out of the camp.
And like,
sharks.
just sniffing the air and thinking about looking at the clouds.
To be fair, Rax.
Maybe we can leave on a clear day.
To be fair, Rax, my people have done crazier things since we have shells and can do many things with them. I would be up for a thing, but yes, a storm would make the skipping hard. And if you remember, in skipping, momentum is so much of it, and when you crash big.
It's true. It might end up being pulling instead of skipping.
Yeah.
All right.
I still think our plan is to still explore for a better option. I mean, we do have time in a sense that nothing is. A ship's going to save us days versus any other plan, I think. Mayra, what are your thoughts?
Why? Stays the same. We continue to explore, see if we can find some means. We look for ships, continue scouting for those, or we find something on the island we can make use of, or we figure out a way that we travel the four of us without a ship. So,
Rax, we need more ideas, is what she's saying.
Maybe the Minotaurs no more. It's their island after all.
I don't have any interest in.
I'm also uneasy about them, to say the least.
The only reason we would be approaching the Minotaurs is to slay them.
Maybe we can trade information with them.
I have no interest in interacting with.
That's a good point. You know, if it comes to it, maybe we could trade information with them. Oi, Minotaurs! There's these giant gorillas gonna do a bit of a raid. But if you know a big boat, we can tell you where it's gonna happen at. Also, I'm realizing I should not be the one doing the negotiating.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't seem a good fit for it.
Well, we walked away with our lives. I call that a win.
It's true.
And compared to some other scenarios we've been in, you know, that's a really good thing. We didn't lose anybody in the party.
Mm-hmm. So they said they was going to do a raid at dusk or dawn or midday.
Yeah.
They didn't seem to be decided yet. Haven't decided yet.
So what do you think about that idea? Maybe trade some information.
Let me repeat myself again, since you seemed to miss it the first time. I have no interest in interacting with followers of Baphomet unless it is to destroy them.
Right. I did forget
That's
that.
That's my take on that.
That's a good point. Demon worshippers are all bad. Right?
Do they all worship Baphomet?
It's a question mark. Right?
And that's not a prejudice, yeah. That's a fact. They all worship Baphomet.
Right,
Fanatically.
we're completely on our own then.
Alright, so you
I
sleep.
was like, Lars is the
Morning
one who
comes.
told us they worship Baphomet, so.
Well, but
Trust the dragon.
Lars also doesn't have, you know, prejudices against creatures that didn't do any harm to him. You know what I mean? And I guess alignment in our world is not the fixed thing, you know.
So would there not be? So
Just out of character, I'm saying.
Yeah. So that okay.
You
So
know,
that
you know they're capable of vile things, and they are.
Yeah, but sure.
They are seeking. You know,
Usually,
this is obvious facts. You know.
usually demon worshippers.
Well, you saw the statue, so
Yeah, there was a big statue of a big
right.
horned being in the middle.
So island hopping and looking around for ports. I keep searching.
I'll fly out with the dawn. Maybe spend a couple of hours flying out and back.
Good idea.
And
Don't-
Mayra
don't
has my
promise.
hopes up that, you know, there may be other druids here, and they have powerful magic. If you just get us somewhere else, maybe. I mean, that tent place sounds better and better the more it seems that we can pair, you know, a ruin, Minotaur, and then a robe with tents. That, I mean, I hate to put hope out when we have no information, but
We explore the camp ruins in the morning, when we wake up.
like it.
While we're heading that way, Lars can scout to see if there are ships in the immediate space, and then we will go into the tents and explore that. That will probably be at least tomorrow, and then we will, if we don't find anything there, and there are no ships around for us to take, then we continue on to the ruined city. And then once we arrive there, we will search. We will continue to scout to see if there are passing ships. And then that at least is going to be our next course of action. And at that point, then we can decide what to do next or what we need to move on. That is my thought and recommendation.
Sounds like a plan.
I like the
Very good
action.
idea.
So dawn comes. The night passed peacefully. It's a bit less humid and less warm in the morning, but you know it soon will heat up. On the shore, maybe a bit more insects. You eat your food, you pack the tent, and you, while you're packing up the tent and getting ready and eating, Lars just takes to the air and goes in large circles. And, well, you know, you see the same landscape and the same landmark.
But fly out, like way out, I'm saying.
You fly out
to
way
the
out,
open sea,
and it's
then
open sea, and as you know, when you're in a hay, you can see 180 or 100 and something miles ahead, and it's still open water. So you don't see anything on the horizon but water. So you, I guess, probably come back and land, and you don't see ships, you don't see anything else. You tell them, and you take into
no ships on the horizon today.
Thank you.
You walk into the jungle, and first up the smaller ruins, then the camp, and then the big ruins, right? So yeah, well, of course, again, you measure up. Feromars can measure up the distances, and you see, probably an hour's trip through the jungle to the smaller ruins, another hour to the camp, and another 2 hours to the large ruin sighting. You take the boat, or you leave the boat, or
Well, since we're going through the jungle, I think we'd probably just go ahead and leave. I say we leave the boat instead of having to.
1, 2, 4.
Oh, actually, can I fit the boat in my bag of holding?
No, it's too small. The gap is the mouth is too small. So what I'm saying is that you have a 4 hours there to the large ruins, and then a 4 hours back. You could cut to the shore. It's maybe quicker, but then you have a.
I say we're an hour
So this
away.
is-
We're an hour away from the small ruins, which is where we're going first. So leave the boat
That's-
here.
Let's
We'll
see
go
what's
to
there.
We'll go to the small ruins.
All right,
Then we'll go to the camp, and then we can always come back to the boat
absolutely.
to head. And this has been a good camp place. So bring the boat up onto shore and kind of push it back into the. Not like anybody's probably going to take our little rowboat, but
Yeah.
kind of.
No, hide it. Sure.
It's our special boat.
It's our boat, by God. It's the only one we
Right.
have.
So you
Well,
Put
so
our
you
names on it.
I actually have one more, but anyway.
a backup boat, great. So you go into the jungle, and you hear the birds chirping, and the monkeys, whatever, and I don't know what's the word for monkey sounds, and you hear buzzing of insects, and you cut through the basically it's probably Ko going in the front and cutting with the sword, cutting through the vegetation to clear the way, make a path, clear a path, and then after an hour's actually harrowing work of going through the jungle, you see some ruins, and as you arrive, you can see these ancient stone structures toppled over, grown over by vegetation in the jungle. They obviously show signs of Minotaur heritage. There is actually a statue of a bull in front of one of the buildings, and what you see is that it's a collection of buildings that are of course in a ruined state, and you see an entrance to a corridor of the ancient Minotaur tomb, which is dark and foreboding, with symbols and glyphs etched into the entrance archway in a strange language. At the corridor's entrance lies a body. This is the and I show you the image. 1 second.
Interesting.
Is it so it's laid out. It's not like it's been killed.
No, it's not laid out. It's more like it's not on this slab of stone actually.
Oh, okay. So it just fell.
Accidentally it fell. There, forget the slab of stone. Okay, it just lies dead. It's one second, I'm reading the paragraph of the description. So at the corridor's entrance lies the remains of a desiccated human spellcaster whose body is withered and ravaged by innumerable insect bites. There are these red spiders climbing and crawling. Crawling all over its body, from coming out of its mouth and eye sockets and under its robe. It's a red robe. The human is dressed in a red robe that bears a sigil embroidered with golden threads around the end of its sleeve. You can make out from this distance what the emblem is, but there is a golden emblem embroidered into the red robe with golden threads at the end of its sleeve. Actually, the whole area is quite silent, but at this moment I would like to ask everybody to roll a knowledge nature check. Ooh. Nice.
I feel more rangery now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a boost of confidence. Ooh. So these spiders. Okay, so before we go into the spider case, I want to again express that the ruins were obviously made by Minotaur. So all the etching, everything, all the engravings, everything depict Minotaurs and their kin in various stances and glory. And these are very, very ancient. Well, you see the body and the desiccated body, and Feromolars and Rex immediately recognizes one of the most dangerous spiders, the Crimson Revenant spiders. These Crimson Revenants are highly poisonous and very, very dangerous. They hunt for larger. They hunt in swarms, and they lay their eggs into these bodies, which their poison desiccates, and you know that these are going. This is a hive of Crimson Revenant spiders, and if you come close, they will burst out and attack. So you are aware of that. The poison causes. Well, first of all, you know that the poison.
It slowly eats away your flesh.
Yes, it causes spasms and pain, intense pain, and it eats away your flesh and desiccates your body. So it eliminates moisture from your body, and you like the corpse in front of you finally desiccate. But it's also very hard to move from the pain and the muscle spasms that happen during this process. It's a very short period, 1 minute, but it's very, very intense in terms of damage, and you cannot control your body as when after the poison spreads in your system.
Don't touch that body. There's no cream in the world that's going to make you feel better.
Oh,
It's all bad.
it's all bad.
It's full of eggs.
Yeah. So we back up and avoid this place.
No, avoid the body. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
So,
And
It's
so
full of spiders, mate. They're gonna grab you and eat you.
so I guess
Look
Co would want to look around to see if it's just the body or if it's if they're just all over the place. Like this is their zone, their territory.
Roll, please. Well, you're looking around. Roll for perception check, but also please, if you can, or if you want. I'm sorry, if you want, to go into more detail. I would say roll for investigation or survival, whichever is higher.
Okay, so either perception or survival or investigation, or
I would say you roll for perception and investigation or survival, whichever is higher.
okay. So we'll do the perception first since I get advantage. My
Nice.
beautiful shield, and that would be if I could remember where. plus 6, so 24 for the perception.
So you look around, you tell the others to stay a bit back, so you don't step into another hive of crimson revenant spiders, and you don't find any more. So this is the only...
And natural 1 on survival.
And then, yeah, that's it. I'm not even adding more notes.
So they nested in the body, right?
Yeah, they're just at the body.
Yeah.
From this distance, can I tell how long the body's been here?
Well, you can roll a medicine check with a disadvantage for the distance. I don't know how much, how well trained the dragon is.
Not at all.
Yeah, well, no.
Well, I have some wisdom.
With your very high nature check for knowing the effect of the crimson
weathering, yeah, and also maybe the weather, leaves and vines, and how fast the vegetation grew around it.
You can sort of say that, you know that if the jungle as nature anywhere takes, it takes what it's offered, so this should have been rotten away, or even there would be another body of another beast next to it, attacked by the revenant spiders, the crimson revenant spiders, if something wanted to chew on the body or something. So, and knowing the poison's very, very quick effect, or very rapid effect, you can say that this body might have been, how to put this, it hasn't probably been here for too long. Okay, so you don't know how long it was.
Yeah.
It's for sure it wasn't weeks, maybe some days.
So fresh, the body's really fresh.
Go ahead and light a torch. Because when we go inside, I'm not going to see nothing without this.
Yeah.
Can we go around the body to look at the structure?
Yes, you can. You can see, as on the image, behind it there's some sort of an entrance to something dark and foreboding.
Okay, let's look inside.
Take a look if there are, before we head in, I just want to, Rax is going to have a poke around the entrance just to see if we've already got this body that's full of spiders. Just see if this is, maybe if they've set, I'm checking for traps, basically.
Well, as soon as you climb up to the columns, I'm sorry, the pillars there in the entrance, you can see that the entrance has collapsed. Please roll your check. Should be an investigation or perception. Both works for me.
A 4.
You have no idea. It's been. There's
Looks good.
Actually, it looks good. You don't find anything trapped, any wires, buttons, whatever could activate the trap. But you also see that the entrance is just collapsed. So it's the inside the building. There's been some sort of a corridor that led underground, but it's absolutely blocked and collapsed, and it's all rocks, and actually you can see mold on the stones. So this is obviously didn't happen a couple of days or weeks ago. It's been longer than that.
And some writing on the archway.
Yes. It's in a language related to Minotaurs, which I think is not a big secret, is Abyssal, because that's what they speak and that's who they follow. So I guess none of you speak Abyssal.
Nope.
I speak Primordial.
Yeah.
Like opposite. No, I guess that would be Celestial.
Use the same script.
Well, we could always magic our way out of this. Hold on one sec. Never mind.
I was gonna say, once we see that it's closed, Ko would say, so move on to the next site, or are we gonna explore more here?
I said we moved to the camp.
I like it. Any objections?
Not a go. I think we should keep the goal in mind is to get off of this island, not to
Here.
uncover all of its secrets, as vast and beautiful as they may be. The goal is to leave.
All right. You move
Lars, can you make out that emblem that's on the robe?
Can I?
Roll a high, very high perception.
Probably not.
Perception
At
check
least
with a
distance.
disadvantage, please.
Disadvantage, yeah. But my perception is
Very high.
7.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just figure he's got the eagle eyes.
Yeah. The
Advantage.
dragon eyes.
Dragon eyes. 23.
23.
What's-
Yeah, you can.
Oh, disadvantage. Sorry, no. My
Oh
bad.
yeah, 6.
Yeah, 6.
6. It's 13. Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes confuse
Oh, you
advantage
almost
and
tricked me.
disadvantage.
You almost tricked me into this. Well, no, you don't
Nope.
see. You don't
But
see.
the robe looks pretty good quality, right? With gold embroidery and stuff. So
It's a
yeah.
red. You know, I would say, fashion-wise, it's either a cleric, a spellcaster, some sort of a spell. So usually spellcasters,
like
or
a tunic, yeah.
Yeah, like
So
a tunic, or it's a nightgown. You never know. But it's red and embroidered in golden threads, and you don't want to go.
Okay, Lars is gonna try to track and look for some footprint, something. So where did this guy come from? I know it's been some days in the jungle, so that's of course difficult. But sniffing the ground like a hound, on the scent. So what is that? Survival?
Survival. Yeah.
You're in the dragon eyes. What's the quote from Rain of Fire? Their dragon's eyes are deadly at day, devastating at night, but only at dusk do they not focus well.
In the failing light.
Oh, gosh.
I always thought that was such a cool line.
We
Yes.
actually just watched that recently, or at least you did.
That's a great movie.
It's one I need to go back and buy for my collection.
Which one is
Pretty
that? I'm sorry.
legit. Reign of Fire
Yeah.
with Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey.
That's a pairing.
Yeah.
And
It
Tom
was.
Hardy.
Yeah, there was some
What's the roll?
kind of set in the future, somewhat sci-fi, but
Yep.
the idea was dragons took over modern day and destroyed modern day, and it was how humanity survives in that
Wow,
atmosphere.
I need to watch that.
It's a great, and probably the best reenactment of Star Wars that you've ever seen at the very beginning. It's amazing.
I need to watch that. I will convince my wife into watching it. Tommy, what's the role for survival?
It was 10, so no,
You don't find
no
any
tracks. Overgrown jungle.
Other hour of tracking in the jungle. Cole takes the lead, cuts the leaves, the vines, the branches, and you arrive to a clearing with a little stream passing through. Okay, so let me show you the image first, which I prepared for this one.
Oh, great.
All right, so not Minotaur tents, I guess.
So, yeah. The abandoned jungle camp of a sort of expedition is marked by a large open clearing next to a stream, with the undergrowth flattened and the ground slightly sunk at its center in a square shape measuring 20 feet on all sides. So there are these tents, and in the middle there's a flattened area. Something heavy was standing on it in a 20 by 20 feet square, okay, which is now gone.
So just an indentation, basically.
An indentation, yeah, in the undergrowth. 4 large tents and abandoned supplies that could easily accommodate about 6 to 8 people are scattered on the clearing around the flattened ground. The signs of struggle and destruction are visible on one of the tents, which hangs tattered and burned.
And how can we get a sense of how old the site looks? Does it look recent? I'm going to assume, since we can still see the indentation, it can't
It's
be
quite
done.
fresh, actually.
Yeah.
A couple of days.
And the tents are standing still.
This island is cursed.
Start poking around in the tents and
Yeah.
exploring the
Start searching
camp.
the area.
Yeah, I'm gonna track around the
Let's go
area.
step. Okay, let's go step by step. So
Let's do that.
Let's hear Mara first. What do you do? You
I'm
spoke first. Everybody
Yeah.
spoke at the same time. Yeah.
I'm poking around the campsite. I'm investigating the campsite and poking my head into the tents and looking in all of the tents.
Well, you said it, so please roll an intelligence investigation skill check.
Mm.
17.
All right, so you go closer to one of the tents, and on the ground in front of it, or in the middle of it, sort of, but actually inside the tent, you can see fine traces. You can see fine traces of a circular, sort of magical writing, but it's more in the air between the leaves and the undergrowth, just like levitating there, as you know,
And almost invisible,
and almost invisible, like
transparent.
transparent sort of
Like a ward?
circle, yeah, like a magical ward in the tent. So you go to the next tent, it's the same, and all the tents have the same magical void inside, except for the one tattered and burned and ruined, which has a dead X-beak creature. You know the X-beak, this bird with the big beak, like blown away, and there's no glyph actually inside the tent. So these tents are protected by magic in the inside, and one of them went off. Now, it was 17, right?
Yes.
So another thing you notice when you're checking, you tell the others to wait, and you go through all the tents. You look into one of the tents and you see the same glyph on the ground, but you can also see a smaller sort of area in one of the corners where there was, which has seen heavier traffic probably. So the ground is more. How do you say this in English? So like there's been a lot of walking.
Trodden, so it's
Trodden, yeah. So there's been a lot of activity and walking, and many it's been visited many times, but there's nothing there, you know. But the area looks like that. So all the undergrowth has been. What's the word? You know, when you walk a lot on the ground and it gets, you know, the vegetation just thins out, you know, trampled.
It's trodden.
Trodden, worn away.
Worn
And
away.
a third tent has a metal blood box, which is
Yeah, hold on.
Point out the glyph.
And yeah, you see a mat, and there's a third tent with a metal box inside, but a glyph as well.
Right. Point out the glyph both on the ground and around the tents to the others. That seems to be some kind of warding spell. And then show them the tent where the X-beak is exploded. I would suggest we step lightly.
Right.
Now,
right.
for Omelar, Tommy said that
Around the campsite,
so
yeah.
roll for survival.
Survival. 21.
Ooh, you can see tracks. You can
Hot
see
on the
tracks.
trail.
Yeah, you can see tracks leading to was that the east from here?
To the big ruins, towards the other
towards
side.
the big one.
Okay, another question. The glyphs, do they cover the entire tent or entrance? Because you said that
They're
is the metal box within the glyphs
I was
area or
yeah.
actually so the where the tent with the lockbox is.
Mhm.
I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic on the glyph.
Nice.
that's some powerful magic?
Roll. Oh, it's how does it work? You need to
any-
roll above third level, right?
Any spell of third level or lower ends, and then if it's fourth level or higher, I have to make a DC check.
Yeah, but the glyph I think is a third level spell. Let me check everything very quickly. I don't want to be.
In my mind, it's fourth or even fifth, but I might be wrong.
No.
Yeah.
Is it just the spell
Third
glyph?
level. It.
Yeah.
Okay, so you stand there and you raise your holy symbol of the eternal mother, the god of nature, god or goddess of nature, and you speak the words, and you raise your other hand, and then white light just sprays over this area, and the glyph just dissipates into nothingness.
Co leaned over to Rax. It's beautiful to see her work every time, isn't it?
I completely agree with you, mate. That was beautiful.
Beautiful magic.
Rax, you seem to have such great luck at looking for traps and picking locks. Point to the
Well,
lockbox.
I do happen to have a key for this box.
So you walk into this tent, and let's talk about the inside of the tent. So there are bedrolls, like 2-3 bedrolls in each. Some personal belongings, like left behind, like let's say a boot that has been, has a hole in it, or some leftover food, or a wooden fork that has broken. So it's all
You said there's leftover food?
yeah, like an apple, or something.
How rotten is the apple?
Pretty rotten.
Yeah, pretty
Pretty
rotten, but it's not not months and weeks. It's probably a couple of days, a week max.
Right.
So this box is this big, not too big. So you can you pick it
Right.
up, and then you look
Yeah.
at the
Pick it
lock.
up, give it a shake.
Give it a shake. There is something in it, but it's
Smell
not. It's not metallic. And it probably fills the whole box itself. So it's not like rattling with coins. It's like something bigger, just almost filling it out completely.
No
And
problem.
then smelling it, it smells like a metal box. And
Let's crack this coconut.
yep. And then you roll a dexterity.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I realize I should not be the one percepting anything here. Da 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 da. Yay! First like roll. We might do something on here. Hold on one second. Here. One, two. All right. Here we go. Let me add my pluses.
Mhm.
Okay. 18.
Boom, boom. So you put your tools in there, and then and it opens smoothly. Done.
Look over at the group before we hit that last pop. Just kind of like wink at everybody and pop the lock. He feels real proud of himself. He's like, oh, I got this one.
Yeah.
I
this
did
one
good
as well.
today. Earned my rations.
Look who eats today. So you open it up, and there's a little journal or like a booklet in there.
Useless.
Throw it away. Go away.
Not metal.
No treasure in there.
No treasure.
All right.
Hand the book
So-
over to the group.
I leave the image
That's a
here
book.
just for feelings,
There's an
just for
image.
the
And I'll read it. If
funsies. Yeah, Tommy will read it. I will.
Because it's written in Draconic.
This is the one. Which
Oh.
is the one?
Okay, read this.
I
Oh,
hope, I hope I'm
Lars
using the
can read
right image. One sec. Is this the one? Yeah,
Mhm.
this is the one. So, yep. And you can read along with Tommy. Please move it. Yeah.
Sorry.
And let me just
All right.
put it in position while Tommy is reading.
Oh, it's going to be a long one.
Look at the little illustrations as
Yeah,
well.
illustrated.
Very important.
Okay, so day 1. We left Centros today, departing in the morning from the Wyvern Sweep and the Master's Keep. The Flame Drake ship, captained by our noble master, Lord Beremo Physmos, and maintained by the unseen crew under his command, sailed gracefully across the waves with the sun shining high in the sky. The excitement and anticipation of the journey ahead were palpable amongst us, and we shared stories of the mysterious node of enchantment magic we were seeking. We were determined to find it, no matter the challenges that lay ahead.
Okay, wait, stop here. So the takeaways, please. Just because it will be long, and I think we should break it down. Okay.
We should.
So
they came from the Wyvern Sweep, which
is a part of Centros,
which is a region of Centros, and the Master's Keep, so some master, on the Flame Drake ship,
who is named the Lord. It's the master is called Lord Beremo Physmos.
And he captained the ship with an unseen crew under his command, and they were seeking a mysterious node of enchantment magic. All right, let me go on. So that was day 1. This is day 4. We were attacked by were-stingray pirates who emerged from below the sea. Master Physmos and our collective magical powers were able to defeat them, but not before they inflicted some damage on our ship. We're lucky to be alive. So they were attacked by were-stingray pirates.
On their way from Santoros to somewhere. Very important, I think, it mentions that they're collective magical powers. Okay, so these are spellcasters of some sort in a group.
Day 9.
Wait, John has some questions.
Yep, sorry.
Would we have ever encountered or known of stingware?
It's stingray? Where stingray?
Where stingray?
Stingray, yeah.
No.
I think, no, Gix didn't mention that at all.
Yeah.
I have a better question.
I remember.
Why Stingray?
Why Stingray?
Geeks might have. Okay, let's say Geeks mentioned because they are very famous, and I remember he
notorious.
Notorious. He mentioned it's just as part of very briefly as part of a sentence, just as a reference, sort of that they are. This is the most notorious pirate group around the Isles of Centros. The Dread Stingers, actually called.
So, is it isolated to their group, or would this be something like world known, like they're just where stingrays?
Regional dominant pirate organization.
Okay, I like it. Thank you. That
with multiple ships. Gix said they have many ships.
Yeah. So hearing that, or Code living over to Rax, I don't know if the skipping idea is good now.
Now, sounds like there might be a few ships on this island we could take.
Yeah, there may be potential. Okay.
All right, day 9. We arrived on the shores of Kiraku Island after a long journey from Centros. Master Physmos seems eager to find the node of enchantment he's been searching for. The master anchored the Flame Drake in a hidden cove, and we are ready to set out. The island is wild and untamed, and I can sense danger lurking in the shadows. So they came on a ship, which they hid in a cove.
And they were looking for a node of enchantment.
And node of enchantment.
Second instance of.
Okay, the next day, day 10. Today we came across a vast ruin that unmistakably bore the hallmarks of Minotaur architecture. Master Physmos was particularly intrigued by a peculiar small structure nestled within the labyrinthine remains. However, he wisely deduced it to be a potential trap and cautioned us that our objective must lie elsewhere. We've set up a campsite in a clearing in the middle of the jungle. Master Physmos seems pleased with the location, and we've made it our base of operations. So they went to the big ruin, the palace or city or town ruins, and there was a particular small structure, but probably trapped, so they didn't go there, and they set up this camp, I guess. or a camp, maybe not this one, but a camp. The next day, day 11, we stumbled upon further ruins of the Minotaur civilization. During our exploration, Leticus unfortunately encountered a group of red, bloated spiders that swiftly overwhelmed him. Their venom appeared to rapidly dehydrate and wither his body, leaving him beyond our help. The master had ordered us to abandon both Leticus and the site. So we've been there. Unfortunate for Leticus. Day 12. We were attacked by a black half-dragon Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay? So a black half-dragon Tyrannosaurus Rex that emitted a stench so foul it made us all gag. I had heard of this creature before and how the worm slayers of Falcon defeated it, so I couldn't believe we were standing face to face with the beast. Master Physmos seemed unfazed, but I could tell he was calculating his next move before he ordered us to retreat. Unfortunately, Shlomar didn't survive the encounter and was snatched by the colossal worm beast.
Colossal.
So another...
As he's reading, I think Rax would kind of back up and bring Celeste out and make sure that she's all loaded and ready and just keeping an eye on the trees and listening to the surrounding area as Lars is reading.
Lars says, I think I know whose roars we heard from the jungles.
Makes sense to me.
Okay, so one interesting part is that this spellcaster from Santoros has heard about this beast, and he thinks, or she thinks, that or heard that it's been defeated by the Frogkin Worm Slayers. Is it noted for Worm Slayers? For the Frogkin Worm Slayers? Yeah, I hope. Who we don't know who they are, and he's surprised that he's facing this beast here because he thinks it was defeated by the Frogkins before. Who the Frogkins? Who the Frogkins are, we don't know yet. But he's surprised, and then they retreat. Like Physmos says, Lord Beremo Physmos from the Isles of Santoros, probably a half dragon lord, says that we need to retreat, and they retreat. Continue.
But Shlomar didn't make it. Sounds like a very Jewish guy.
I remember I was asking him, what name should we give this one? He said Shlomar. I was like, are you sure? Yeah, please. Okay, so his name is Shlomar.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
wait. Joe has a question.
Yeah, Joe.
Can I? So I mentioned that he's keeping a lookout. I want to use primeval awareness to sense if there are any dragon-type creatures within 1 mile of where we are.
1 mile.
How many feet is 1 mile?
4,000.
5,000?
My notes say a lot.
Can you please help?
600. It's about 4,500, 4,600 feet, I think.
How many feet in a mile? 5,280.
5,000.
5,000. So
I can remember 5,200, but not the rest.
this is a radius, right?
Right.
So about 2 tile radius. No dragons nearby.
Nice.
What was that nice about Rax?
Now, just seeing if there's any dragon types nearby.
That's a useful skill.
Just me.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, you can sense from Lars.
Except for this guy. Who let him in here?
Continue, please. Also mind the illustrations, please.
So day 13. Today we stumbled upon a Minotaur village. Master Physmos was not interested in making contact, but I could see the curiosity in his eyes. We've covered a lot of ground in our search for the node, and I can sense a growing tension within our group. The island is starting to take its toll on us. so they didn't go near the village. And then last entry, day 15. We have been making expeditions to various parts of the island searching for any sign of the node. The jungle is dense and full of dangers, but I'm starting to get used to it. Master Physmos has been pushing us hard, and I can tell he's getting frustrated at the lack of progress. But I have faith that we'll find what we're looking for, and we will all receive the gifts the Master has promised us.
Yes.
And that's it.
That's the journey.
Does that sketch of that drawing, does that of the Minotaur, does that look like the corridor that we saw where the body was?
Nope. No.
Okay,
Similar,
but different. There is something in the middle. And no, this is there are no pillars on this one like the previous one had.
Okay, so wherever they were, that little Minotaur bullhead drawing that they're showing has some kind of lever or whatever, was not back at the ruins that we saw. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's it. And they left towards the east. About, I guess, if it's last entry is day 15, and the guy died, Latikus died on day what?
A week ago.
A week ago or something like that. So they were here recently. Yeah. They still might be on the island.
Well, it looks like their camp was attacked, raided.
No, they left it. It looks abandoned, right? Is what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said that the supplies had been like tossed around. And...
It's because of the explosion in one of the.
Oh, from the.
Okay. One of the tents.
Okay, so they could still be around. Gotcha.
Okay. I'm also looking for one more clue that I think I missed here.
Asking the party, has anyone ever heard of a node of enchantment? That's not something I think I'm familiar with.
Not as
On me.
No.
Okay.
I had a node on my back once.
Did you get an enchanter to get it off?
No. It was something I did, and I pulled something, and was doing a bit of climbing, looking for dragons, as you do. And I got something on my back, a little node. But there's a halfling, worked it out, real good. Yeah.
See, that's the problem with us turtles. When we get sore backs, you just got to deal.
I understand. Can you get out of that shell?
Only when I shed the one part, but no to your meaning. It's part of my body. It is my body. It'd be like, can you get out of that arm? Well, technically you could, but it would be a bad day.
I understand. Very cool.
Ask more. Definitely. I like it.
I do too.
So, there's an indentation of 20 feet by 20 feet, very, very distinctively square shaped in the middle of the, in between the tents. Something was there. Pushing the ground heavily, and in one of the tents there is an area more traveled than the rest of the other tents. I mean, so you can see it's been a week since they passed, sort of, as you figure out, and you can see these, between the bedrolls and in front of the tent, you can see what was the word? Trampled or trodden, but in one of the tents and one of the corners, but still the glyphs are on. So there are two more tents with glyphs there. One of them exploded, one of them dispelled, two more tents with a glyph each. These are spellcasters who left their tents behind with protection magic on them or in them.
So question of logistics. Have we walked through the area where it's a square indentation, or have we avoided that in the way you've painted it?
Look, your choice, but you
Okay.
know, there are some in the party who might have just crossed without thinking twice, and nothing happened.
Okay, so I was going to ask the party. Ko probably would have not adventured in too much and been second. Would any of you guys cross that threshold of the indentation?
Lars looks at it closely and
Hmm.
see if there's any.
There's nothing there.
But
It's
there's
just an
nothing.
indentation. So something heavy,
Was
square
standing there.
was standing
Well-
there. Something heavy, square shaped was standing there, but very, very heavy. So the ground is actually lower in that area. You know, it has been
Yeah.
the soft ground has been pushed in for like I don't know, like
A couple inches.
a couple of
probably.
inches. Yeah.
It gave me the Star Trek when they captured the whale vibes, where they took the cloaking ship and plunked it. If no one had touched that to see if
Yeah.
it
There's
was
nothing,
it was still
nothing
there.
invisible there.
Okay.
And the vegetation is completely flattened, I guess, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
Okay. So they could be back. They're magical. And there's a Tyrannosaurus with dragon powers. This just got more interesting.
Also that.
Who smells really bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So
So if we
what?
track these people, they're out of boat. Maybe we follow them tracks if we can find some.
We
Follow
should
them
be,
back to the boat.
we should be
Yeah.
hasty before they have a chance to leave the island.
And with our letter, we may just get full ride and help and protection because they're part of the kingdom. Right?
Unless you're one of the rivals.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Maybe.
Fair play. Fair play.
What they say is the ship is called the Flame Drake, and it's been hidden in a cove somewhere on the island.
Right. You said there's tracks. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mayor.
No, but I was going in the same way. Let's.
Tracks
Yeah.
tracks to the east. Yep.
Let's follow these tracks, see where they lead.
I like to play.
All right.
All right. So you follow the tracks to the east through the jungle. I'm showing you which way they went. I guess you take the journal with you. And this is you can see my marker here. They lead towards the large ruins, so you can immediately tell. Even if Lars, takes to the air sometimes, he can confirm that
The direction is
the
that.
direction is the large.
Where they've been already, I guess.
Yes.
Because the journal says that they were there, so they're going back to the place.
Back to the place or past the place, but still in that direction.
In that direction. Okay.
And you follow the tracks. It's 1, 2, 2.5, maybe even 3, 2.5 hours through the jungle. So this is about the 8th. Wait, hold on. 1, 2. No, this is like 4 hours of you, as I said earlier. 4.5 hours. Maybe with all the time you spent here, not large, but still about 5 hours since you have left your camp or the boat itself on the shore. So
I was looking forward for a leg day, not an arm day tomorrow.
okay, so you come out of the jungle to a large clearing, which is for a mile, as far as you can see, but a mile. There's ruins stretching all over the place. It's mostly knee-high walls and very small. So I mean, the structures are gone. It's just a couple of walls coming out of the ground, showing that something was here, something large, and something of a big structure was here. It stretches in all directions. It is a vast and desolate wasteland of crumbling stone walls, toppled pillars, and shattered statuary. The once great structure is now overgrown with vines and tangled undergrowth. Among the ruins, there is one lone sentinel object or structure that stands at one part. It is an intricately carved. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to. So, this is a block of stone measuring 20 feet on all sides. It is intricately carved with figures depicting ancient minotaurs in combat with sigils of strange design. These are the same sigils and runes that you have seen before, probably writings in this. Each side has a. Yep.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
So this is okay. Let's say this is a bit further down. So you can see a wasteland of ruins, and standing out of this, a 20 feet high, 20 feet wide block of stone. Let's not talk more about this because it's far. It's like, like 1,500 feet from you. So it's 2,000 feet from you. So it's away. You can see it just popping out of the landscape. Go ahead, please.
As we're walking, coming up near Mayra.
Yes.
I do appreciate you reminding me about the demonic nature of these beasts. Which what you'll know, I do get a bit situational sometimes. Forget myself and worry more about survival than sometimes the people we're dealing with. So I do appreciate the moral compass.
Well, I'm glad to provide that guidance for you. Just pat him on the shoulder.
Right. I didn't want you to think I'm not up for consulting or dealing with demon types.
You've made your point.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like them. I'm not saying I do. You know what I mean. Yeah. I'll just appreciate it, that's all.
Are you aware of any minotaurs in the area? Like you were with dragons?
Oh.
I could do it again, I guess. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it again. Hold on one sec.
And how do you do that?
Lars seems to be very curious about this, ranger abilities that you're using.
Focus.
I'll show you how we do it.
It's coming, Lars. It's coming.
It goes a little bit like this. Actually, with primeval awareness, you can check to see if there are aberrations, celestial dragons, elementals, fey, fiends, and undead.
So not monstrosity or whatever.
Right. It doesn't reveal their exact location, but it will tell you if they're within kind of the radius. So you can just kind of have an idea of what it is possibly that you're walking into. But it is going to use another spell slot, and I'm happy to spend it while we are in these ruins. I'm going to go ahead and do that. See if I can detect any of those things.
And you can't.
Oh.
I'm sorry. It's 1 mile in all directions.
Yep.
And what were the actual
the things yes, it is tiny writing. Here we go. Zoom in a little bit. Oh, I should have done that to begin with. Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fey, fiends, and undead.
Not monstrosity. Yep. So minotaurs, you don't sense any of those, right? It's also very calm and very, very silent. Not like seriously. All sounds are gone. So it's like the sounds of the jungle are there, but it's very, very calm. Everywhere. Are you getting closer to this block or?
I say cautiously.
So you're climbing these walls.
Joe, since it requires a spell slot, is there any magical things to describe? Like, is it a very just natural thing you do with the primeval, or is it?
Yeah, I think it's a tapping in for Rex. So I think he just kind of gets very still. It's probably the most zen thing that he does for any of his stuff. Yeah. He just stops for a second, closes his eyes, maybe because you're reaching out for some pretty intense stuff. I mean, celestials, undead, fiends, fate. Like that's got to be an intense.
Yeah, and large area. So
unnatural things.
Huge area. So I think he sits there and kind of opens and closes his hands to help keep himself calm. and just sends an awareness out. Maybe just mutters some incantations under his breath, and just focuses and breathes very deeply for a moment.
Okay. Like it.
You go through these and over these toppled pillars and statues, crumbled statues, and remains of walls, and you get closer to this block of stone, which is now you can see it's intricately carved with figures depicting ancient minotaurs in combat, and with sigils of strange design. Each side you can see on each of its sides, so it's a block, it's a cube. You can see on each of its sides a gear track on all of its edges that look like a series of flat teeth. The stone block has a single 10-foot diameter square entrance on one of its sides. The entrance has a sliding metal door composed of 4 segments which have retracted into the stone frames on all corners, lying open. In the middle, and I will show you within the hollow inside of the stone, I will show you I showed the image now, so it's much easier. So this is the actual stone block. I need to position it for.
And it's the one on in the journal, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah,
Probably.
should be, but
Should be.
designer's mistake. There is a Minotaur head instead of an arm.
And two heads.
Either our briefing went wrong, or they just didn't take notice of our slight details. Anyway, yes, it is that, and you can see within the hollow inside of the stone block a thick vertical iron rod sort of structure fashioned in the shape of a Minotaur's arm rises from the floor in the center of the chamber as it was reaching to be pulled up, like as if it was reaching from like below the water and kind of in a graspy finger position or hand position. Oh, actually, this is it. The description continues as such. The fingers and the hand at the end of the arm are fashioned so that a large creature can easily grasp it. So, I think this scene should be our final image before we continue. I must tell you, this is one of the favorite parts of the whole adventure for me.
Coming up.
Coming up next week, there is this stone block 20 feet on all sides. Within, actually, the image doesn't really reflect it too well, but there is a hollow room. And in the middle of this room, like I don't know, like a 15 feet by 15 feet room on the inside, and in the middle of this room there is this bronze large hand of a Minotaur reaching out from the ground on a bit of a pedestal or something. So you can see, waiting to be grasped, something to be done with it. So I think this is a very good cliffhanger to leave it off like that.
I'm just laughing because it's such a like a lead on, to say that it's just waiting to be grasped, as if it was waiting to be grasped.
It looks like it's ready for an arm wrestling contest.
We will speak about the encryptions and the imagery around it. I would like to ask you, which I shamefully have forgotten last time, your takeaway. Maybe you have more of an impression, from the island at this stage, and what do you guys think? How does your character feel? What's your takeaway? And please go ahead. April?
Mayra hates the heat and the humidity.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Normally, Mayra it's one of the reasons she's taken to the ships and come up to the surface is to explore. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we kind of have a purpose and a mission that we need to get to. So she's very focused on that, because normally she would be much more interested in, and she she feels a little bit of regret that they don't, that we don't, in her mind, have more time to really explore stuff, because, well, we need to get to where we're going, and that's our focus.
Right.
This will be a great series of islands someday to come back and really really dig into. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's where she is right now.
Joe?
You know, April and I've talked about this before. It's one of the challenges I think that's inherent when you have any campaign. I think that anybody runs anywhere, that when there's a mission to accomplish, oftentimes exploration, unless it's tied to what you have to achieve, can sometimes get put on the back burner. And sometimes exploration is where so much of the really cool stuff is. I really appreciate just Joe that the getting off of this island is tied to the exploration of the island, so that you have an opportunity to see the cool stuff, to find the things, to unravel the little mysteries and things like that. Because normally it would just be, all right, let's get back in the boat and keep going because we've got to get to this place, and could miss all kinds of stuff. So I really appreciate that exploring this island is part of the objective to get you to that point. And I think Rax is probably somebody who doesn't do a lot of exploring. You know, when I built him out, I didn't put nothing in perception and all these things that you expect a ranger to have. He was very much, all right, there's a dragon, great, where is it? Oh, it lives over there, cool, I'm gonna go camp out on the so-and-so and I'm just gonna wait. You know, it's not one of those, let me go protect the wilds. It's not something he's really interested in. So he probably spends the bare minimum amount of time out there building camps and hunting, and he'd rather be in a tavern somewhere eating food that's already made for him. So it's been kind of fun to see that aspect of it, be like, oh yeah, sure, I can go hunting. How do I what do we got to do?
Ranger with no outdoors skills.
It's minimal, okay, you know. I love the non-archetypical. How do you say this in English?
I think he's certainly had to survive many times, but it's not a skill he enjoys. It's been his camps don't look great, and his cooking isn't great, you know, and all that. So this has been the same as if you a lot of fun for him.
Playing a scholar or something.
right.
Or a bard. I prefer my tavern and my meal served. You know?
Right. Yeah. I like cooking when someone else does it.
Yeah. All right. Great. Just one thought that, escaping the island is tied to exploring it and finding your way out. But also, you know, you never know. Maybe there are characters and maybe there are intentions, there are motives where you just go greedy and, you know, you want to loot the ancient stuff, you know, and maybe there's a scholar who wants to delve into knowledge and stuff. So there's always an excuse to be derailed.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Cool. John?
Yeah. I echoing what everybody else has said, the painting of a world, but you're on a mission. It reminds me of Tolkien, of like after everything was done, they took like a year going back and visiting and taking their time. Like the gamer in me wants to get to know the apes, you know, like that sounds like a fun, let's spend 2 or 3 weeks going after it. But I like the mission. I also kind of like the semi-survival-y feel we've got going on of, we need a boat, but we don't have a boat. Like, how are we going to get transportation? And for as beefy as characters we are, that's a fun dilemma. You know, I know it'll be solved pretty quick and easy when plot kicks in, but it's still a fun, like, wrestle point of like, well, yeah, we can survive forever, but the mission. I like the balance.
Great. Happy to hear.
I think also that today I felt that the being shipwrecked kind of vibe came through, you know, that we had to forage, it's jungle, there's no clues, there's, you know, some stuff that we can see, some landmarks from the air, but no details and no hope, you know. and then with the journal, like a ray of hope came in, you know, that wow, there might be a ship and there might be other people here, and
right, we don't have to start making friends with volleyballs just yet.
right. No Wilsons.
Hey.
I that was really cool, that unveiling of like day 2, day 3, so and so, and this kind of mounting sort of, oh no, it's all bad here.
Yeah. Well,
And then the T-Rex, which we hope we'll never encounter.
the half dragon T-Rex. Actually, from the image, you can immediately deduce Rex can immediately deduce that it's a half black, if it wasn't mentioned.
Nobody
you will-
likes acid.
Cole will have a chance to explore and make friends with the apes. There's a lot to go, lots of more adventures awaiting. I would like to, for now, and we will continue exploring and unveiling all of that in our future episodes. I would like to thank everyone for watching. I hope you guys will follow us on this long journey. Thanks to John and April and Joe from Twice the Dice for being with us on this particular jungly journey, which will turn into a sea journey, which will turn into all other kinds of journeys. Please visit Twice the Dice and their channel, where they play Crown of the Oathbreaker. It's linked in the description below. Please check out elderbrain.com if you're interested in Torrents of the Spellhoarder and Crown of the Oathbreaker, and catch us on Discord. Please also like and subscribe to keep track of our future sessions, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for playing. Thank you for enjoying. Bye.